The airport buzzed like a beehive, suitcases rolling, announcements echoing, and the distinct scent of jet fuel lingering in the air. Among the crowd was a young man named Arjun, standing quietly near gate 17 with a boarding pass clutched tightly in his hand. He wore a plain button-up shirt, slightly wrinkled, and carried a weathered duffel bag slung over his shoulder. His eyes held both excitement and exhaustion, the kind you see in someone chasing something long overdue. Arjun wasn't just another passenger. He was on the cusp of a dream, a job interview in London that he'd waited years for. He had saved every rupee from his modest IT job in Mumbai, skipped meals, cancelled outings, and slept less just to afford this trip. After a friend who worked for the airline surprised him with a complimentary upgrade to first class, an act of gratitude for the time Arjun had once fixed his laptop for free, he felt like fate was finally tilting in his favor. But fate, it seemed, wasn't done testing him. As he reached the first-class queue and presented his boarding pass, the flight attendant barely glanced at him before her brows furrowed. She looked him up and down, his inexpensive shoes, his frayed duffel, and his uncertain smile. "You can't be first class," she snapped, loud enough for others in line to hear. Heads turned. "This section is for premium passengers only." Arjun blinked, stunned. I was upgraded," he stammered, offering the pass again. "It's all printed here." She didn't look. "Sir, please step aside. Don't make a scene." A hush fell over the line. Someone behind Arjun muttered, "Probably snuck in." A few chuckled. The humiliation burned on his cheeks. He wasn't angry, just confused, and deeply hurt. "I assure you," he said gently, "this is a valid boarding pass." "I said step aside," the flight attendant said again, this time firmer, her tone laced with judgment. "First-class passengers don't carry bags like that." He felt something crack inside him, but he stepped aside anyway, his spirit slightly crushed. He was about to turn away when a quiet but commanding voice broke through the tension. "I believe he has every right to be here." Everyone turned. A tall man in a sleek gray suit had stepped forward from the queue. He was composed but firm, his presence unmistakably authoritative. The flight attendant's face paled the moment she saw him. "Mr. Mehra," she gasped. "I didn't know you were on this flight." Siddharth Mehra, chairman of the airline and one of the most respected names in global aviation, looked directly at her. "And it shows," he replied coldly. "This gentleman has a valid first-class boarding pass. I watched him receive it. He deserves to be treated with dignity like every paying passenger on this aircraft." Arjun's mouth fell open. He recognized the man now, the face from business magazines, often associated with innovation, humility, and kindness. "Mr. Mehra turned to him and offered a warm smile. "Come, son," he said. "You're sitting next to me." The silence was deafening. The flight attendant stumbled through an apology, her tone suddenly meek and respectful. But the damage had already been done. As Arjun followed Mr. Mehra down the jet bridge, he whispered, "I don't understand, why would you do that?" Mr. Mehra chuckled. "Because I was once in your shoes. Years ago, someone told me I didn't belong in a boardroom because I couldn't afford polished shoes. But someone else stood up for me, and that changed everything. Today, it's my turn." During the flight, Arjun and Mr. Mehra spoke at length. Arjun shared his journey, his struggles, and the interview he was traveling for. Mr. Mehra listened intently, then offered his business card and said, "Whether that interview works out or not, you come see me. We need people like you in our company." Tears welled in Arjun's eyes. It wasn't just about the seat or the insult. It was about being seen. Being valued. Being told he mattered. When the flight landed, Arjun walked out of the aircraft not just as a passenger, but as a man renewed, with dignity restored and purpose rekindled. And back at the gate, that flight attendant learned a lesson she would never forget: appearances deceive, but kindness and respect never go out of class. The message: you never know who someone is, or what battle they've fought to get where they are. Always choose kindness. Always choose respect. Because the heart behind the boarding pass may carry a story greater than the seat number in front of it.